Hey guys, so let's have another little problem conversation, right? So I'm down 40% overall. I don't know if I should keep trying or just give up and call it a day with crypto because it's exhausting. So that was not me, by the way, but I feel for this person, right? I feel like we've all been there at some point. If you've been in crypto for more than a month, you've probably felt this. So it's hard when we're down, right? And there's some common sense things and there's some not common sense things of what to do in this situation. And I want to hit all of them in a very brief little spot of what to do when we're down. And DCA is always an option, but it's also not always an option. And it's also not useful advice if you've already been told it before, right? So I'm going to give some little insight for this individual and everyone else who goes through this situation of what to do, why maybe you should or shouldn't do something, and then maybe a little bit on my opinion of what I would do personally. But again, when I give suggestions of what I would do realize we're different people, different trains of thought. We have different information, different risk aversion, different amounts of our wealth into the market, yada, yada. But ultimately, I want to see if I can help this person out and anyone else that ends up being or wants to try to stay out of this kind of position. Let's talk a little bit about things that we can do, the thought process that I have about it, and move forward from there. So in this position, I think there are three real options. We'll call it three. I might add four and 2A or whatever. But option number one is you can quit. All right, let's make this a full realization that is always an option. You can always say, fuck it, I'm out, and get out of the market. I just want to heavily press, if that's what an option any of you guys ever choose, do not get back in the market. And I mean that very seriously. Just don't. If you're out and you quit, stay out, right? At least for the full cycle, wait till the bear market, or do it in a different mode. Like if you were doing spot buys, maybe do trading. If you are doing trading, go to spot buys, or do staking only, or do it differently than what got you to quit in the first place. Unless you really think you learned something, but I'll tell you, we probably didn't. Okay? But quitting is always an option. I'll never encourage it, but only you know if that's best for you or not. If you're not sure, I guess the big question is, would you regret quitting? Okay? And that's the best offer I can give, but that is always an option. Secondarily, another option, and the one that I choose the most often when I was down, is you can just do jack shit. Don't do anything. Sit and wait, right? Especially at this time of the market, right? If you're fully in ondo, dude, if you got to be down into crypto and you're fully in, that's one of the better ones to be fully in and down on, right? It is a top, I don't think it's quite top 50. It's always floating around top 50. Right? It's got huge support and backing. BlackRock's into it. I understand this concern about a second token and the use, but none of that's going to be relevant for this year. There'll be a massive airdrop sometime next year. I haven't kept privy on my ondo information. But when I'm down, I usually just wait. Because right now, we're going into what I believe is going to be altcoin season. This could be the beginning of it. I don't know. I think in the next 1 to 6 months, everything's going to be up. So I would say waiting is never a bad idea. If it gives you stress, because this person said it was exhausting, don't look at your portfolio all the time. This is probably the hardest part of doing nothing, is not looking at your portfolio. But that's the part that exhausts us. That's the part that's stressful, is looking at it every day or many times every day. What the hell do you expect to happen? All right. If you were down at 8 a.m., you're probably still down at 12 p.m., maybe slightly different. And let's say something major happened and you went up 40%. There's going to be a retrace the next day. You're going to go down again, right? So especially if when they said all in, I mean, they're maxis in ondo right now, I just wouldn't look too much, right? You know what your average price is. Wait and see how it goes. Now, there are other options too, but I want to make sure the two obvious ones are hit right away. I guess the third one's going to be DCA if that's an option. But you can always quit, you can always do nothing, you can always DCA. Specifically, in this case, would be if you have extra funds that you're not over leveraged, meaning you're not using rent or mortgage money, you're not expecting or need money in a certain time frame, because those things screw people all the time. when you have the expectation of it needs to get done by November. Not a good way to enter the market. So in this case, it was Ondo, but realize there's other things you can do for other crypto if this is your position, right? You can stake. Make more crypto for using what you already have. Liquidity pools. Do your own research so you know exactly what's involved. But once you study it, that's a safe-ish method. I've done very well with Aerodrome on that one. You can always throw in liquidity pools. Make more money in crypto for not spending more money on crypto. There are airdrops you can farm, right? There's always ways to make more money. So if you're going to be active, be proactive. Not reactive, which is what we tend to do, and we chase green candles and, oh crap, this crypto hasn't moved in 6 weeks. Everything else is, I mean, you're just hearing about 3 or 4 that are. Don't jump into those. They're moving. If you're going to trade or buy, except under very specific conditions, which I would even say as a general thumb, never buy if a crypto's going up. Exceptions, but let's keep this generalized here. Buy in the red. Buy a coin when it's stable. Look up to see where lines of resistance or support are. Because support lines, those are your buy lines. Specifically, if support lines match right with 20-day EMAs, or there's multiple EMAs, the 50, the 200-day, if they're all together, that coin's stable as hell. You might be looking at USDC. But the point is, those are your times to buy in, is when things are going down or it's stable and right above support zones. Because that lets you know that the market is telling you these are good prices. If I was looking, and if I was in a position, I was down 40% in one crypto, what would I do? I would not be in a rush. I would not be in a rush to trade it out. I would probably be looking for potential trades to get some of it in, but there's certain things I would have to find in these trades. One, I would have to be confident that moving it into something else will get me that 40% back sooner than Ondo. Otherwise, why the hell would you do it, right? So in this case, I would not trade out any Ondo for small caps at this point, unless you really think that there's a catalyst coming. Like if you see a micro cap or small cap crypto that is, I mean, they're not going to get ETFs, but you know, there's some large announcement that you think is going to be either a buy the rumor, buy the news, or just a price action. Okay. But in general, right now, I would look at large caps or moderate caps. Pretty much 1 billion, roughly, market caps are higher because those are going to be the next ones that move. And Ondo is in that category, right? So I would end up looking for other ones there that I think could get that 40% faster, or that I just have more conviction in. I didn't look at the charts before I started recording this, but like Solana is always an option to me. Until it hits all-time highs, or really until it hits like $400, it's an option to me. I'm confident Solana is going to go up pretty high pretty quick because I think it's October 10th. They're going to announce yes or no on an ETF, and it seems very likely it's going to be a yes. Again, I don't know how much Solana has gone up, but that's one I would end up looking at. But I wouldn't drop into right away into smaller caps without at least recognizing that they're probably going to take longer to come back up. Again, the path of alt season. Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, moderate, And really just market advice. Never make decisions when you're emotional. That fucks us every time. And realize emotional can be good and it can be bad, right? Euphoria is an emotion. Do you know how many people get wrecked from euphoria? Right? It's why I said don't buy green candles when prices are going up on something. Do not FOMO in. That's an emotion. It's a great one to get wrecked. It's usually how we end up being in the red down the road, is that we bought when it was going up because we thought it was going to go higher, or we didn't do our own research, didn't even know what the damn coin was that we had, but it had a cute dog on it or a cool little name that, yep, someone I know like says buy it, so I'm going to. That's to do your own research. Do not do anything that I say I do or anybody else, but use it as faults to look into. But never make a plan or change a plan when you're emotional, good or bad. Do it when you're calm. Do it when you can look at things from a completely logistic mindset and keep things objective, not subjective. If you're not sure what that means, objective means measurable. It is fact, it is what it is, and that's all that it is. All right? Like for this individual, I'm down 40%. I own Ondo. I am terrified about, they went subjective. We now brought a feeling into it, all right? So Only go with what we know. If I know Solana, again, I'm just going to use this example. This is not a suggestion to move Ondo into Solana. But I know Solana is going to have a date on, I think it's the 10th, of getting approval or denial of an ETF. Okay? I am very confident, because it has happened in the past and is measurable on charts, that when an ETF is coming and shortly thereafter, prices go up. So there's a little bit subjective of I think it's going to happen, but that's a lot more objective nature. So keep to as much logistics and things that you know, not what you think, as much as you can. Ultimately, we'll have to do a little bit of, well, I think this, I expect that. But the more facts you can have, the more things that you can say and people cannot argue, you're going in the right direction. So when you make a plan, and please, dear God, have a plan, it should be specific to enough to where someone else can follow it. Like, this is what I'm doing. And if someone else can read it and do it, you at least have a concrete plan. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but at least it's concrete and it's a real plan. And that's something else that screws a lot of people over to go in the red, is they don't actually have a plan. Right? It's like, well, I can do this, trade to this. Okay. What is your goal? Because I don't think you can have a plan without a goal, because what are you planning for? Right? We're going to go a road trip. Well, you can't really plan a road trip unless you know where you're going to go. If your plan is, I'm just going to go west and see what happens, that's not a plan. That's kind of risky. You have no idea what the heck's going to happen. The part of a plan is to think you know what's going to happen. No plans are going to change. And I'm relatively confident this individual didn't have a strict plan. Like for me, I have an exact number I want to make from this bull run. And once I make it, I'm going to have leftover coins, because I've set myself up, well, thankfully, I've been able to do this, where I should have some stuff left over to play with. But maybe I'm completely overestimating everything. I don't know. But it should be specific. Know what you're doing with each crypto. Every time I buy a crypto, whether it's a spot bag, a leverage, a swing trade, I already know, and I've written down why am I buying it? What price did I buy it? Where do I want to sell it? How much am I going to sell when it gets to that price? All of it, 50%, 20%, etc. And now, once I have that done, I'm not changing the damn plan unless there's a reason to. And anything subjective, my feelings are never a reason to do it. Right? Now, the CEO got arrested. There was a hack on the blockchain. Those might be reasons to change the plan. Those might also be reasons to watch everything burn in the DCA. It all depends, right? But I just want to emphasize, to finish this up, that we only lose money when we sell at the wrong time. We only make money when we sell at the right time. Everything else is just numbers. So when I've been in the red, or in this position, we'll say, if I was 40% down, realize your portfolio is 40% down, but you did not lose 40% of your money. Not yet. Not until you click that sell button. So you can trade, you can buy, but you did not lose money. It is still there. It's just in a different form until you sell it and turn it into fiat. So I don't know if that helps your mindset. It's helped mine before, when I'm like, holy crap. When you see at first, like, oh, I'm down $100, and then you're down $1,000, and then you're down $5,000, and those numbers just get larger. Eventually you get numb to it. At least I get numb to it. But I sometimes have to remind myself, I didn't lose money yet. I'm just down, right? And on the flip side, my portfolio is up. I did not make any money yet. I have not sold. I may have taken a little bit of profits, but all of it, I think, at least the vast majority, I've put back in the market. So I have not made any money. I'm just up, right? And that small little verbiage is a huge effing difference to how the outcome is. Because we do not lose anything until we sell. We do not win anything until we sell, right? So keep your head up. The market has not been at the top yet, not even fucking close. There is plenty of time to make money. And even more so, you can make money in the bear market. Every situation you can make money in. It just might be a little different train of thought. I hope this helped several of you. And let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. I have no problems talking to individuals, especially when it is something that I think will help everybody. All right. Peace, everyone.